Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel, or men if you're peeking in on the lives of females. Hey, I'm not gonna hate on you. Welcome. My name's Lizzie. This is episode 2 of Girl Code. Standard issue per or standard order per issue or episode. 10 questions, and then we do 2 holistic remedies. And today your holistic remedies are for UTIs and yeast infections and how to conceive a baby or help conceive a baby if you are struggling. So this is actually my second time filming. For some reason I filmed the whole thing and then YouTube couldn't read it and it disappeared on my laptop. I don't know what happened. So we're doing this again. I'm anxious to see if the same answers come out per question. Please remember, if you want more of these in the future, I am looking for your feedback. I'm just going to do these for a couple weeks, give you a chance to see it how it operates, decide if you like it. If the numbers are low for the next, I think I'm going to do 2 more episodes after this. I'll probably cut it and do something else. So if you want this to stay and you like this, please be sure to give it a thumbs up below. If you want to have any questions asked in my next episode pertaining to women in general and any aspects, you can go to the comments below, or you can go to my description box and find my email and email me the questions. I will also do research on holistic healing for you for any kind of situation women deal with. I will do the legwork for you. Just let me know. Alright, so are you ready for episode 2 of Girl Code? Let's get into it, shall we? Question number 1. This is a 2-part question. It's about women in the military. The first part is, do women feel they're at a disadvantage while they're in boot camp? So do women feel like they're at a disadvantage for being women in boot camp? Reword the question. Do women feel they're at a disadvantage while in boot camps? Maybe. Let's see if I can get a definitive answer here. No and yes. The last time I came out with a strong yes, maybe this is why my video didn't go through there, changing their answer. Because I did discuss 2 different kinds of boot camps. There are some branches of the military that put all the women together in a boot camp, and some boot camps are co-ed. And I feel like they leaned more towards women feeling they're at a disadvantage in boot camp when they're in a co-ed boot camp as per when they're with other females. I feel like they're more comfortable when they have a female drill instructor and they have women around them. They're also training to be in the military. I feel like it's a little bit more comfortable. Whereas when they're going and they're in a unisex kind of boot camp, I do feel like they feel there is a disadvantage because there's different rules, and I just feel like they're uncomfortable, or feeling like the men are uncomfortable with them being there still to this day, which is sad. And the second part of the question is, do women in the military feel they are at a disadvantage when it comes to their careers and getting promoted? Do women in the military feel like they're at a disadvantage? No. I didn't ask that question last time. I must have skipped over it. So no, I think they do feel like, I think more in this past war than any other war, women were allowed to do more. And when they go and they get that active duty, it helps get them promoted. I feel like the military is doing a better job as far as being promoted. But I do feel like in the beginning, when they're coming in through boot camp and they're just a private, it's very hard for them. Once they get up higher in rank, they're more respected because they have to be. The people beneath them have to respect them. But until they get to a point of respect, they do feel like they're at a disadvantage. All right, number 2. Are women in this year, 2021, paid lower or equal to men? I got a mixed answer. They said yes and no last time, depending on the company. But let's see what they say. Are women in 2021 paid lower than men? I'll ask it both ways. Are women in this year paid lower than men? No. Are women in this year, 2021, paid equal to men? got a lot to say about this. Are women in 2021 paid equal to men? No and yes. Yeah, this is the mixed answer they gave last time. Because if you look at Hollywood, women actresses, like, if you have a man and a woman in a movie and they, like a rom-com, the man is paid like 35 to 42 million, depending on what the movie is, and the female who's in it just as much is making from anywhere from 20 to 25 million, which is a big difference in pay just because of man and woman. So of course the celebrity movie TV world is not fair, not even remotely. The military is still paying differences towards women in some aspects. A lot of companies are all men board, and they only promote other men up. Women are still paid a little bit less by percentage in some of the business world. So it really depends on what your company you're working for, because with all those negatives, you have Burger King. Everybody starts at the same wage. Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, a clothing store, Walmart, everyone kind of, if you work for like Amazon or the post office, everybody has a general start rate that isn't paid different because of genders, but then you have a lot of companies that are. So it really depends on where you work and what industry you're in if you're getting paid fairly. I think people are making more of an effort to pay women fairly than any other direction, but we still have miles to go before we sleep, ladies. All right, next. Will there be a female president within the next decade? Will there be a female president? Oof. Will there be a female president in the next election? They're changing their answers on me. No. Not possible. Absolutely not. Maybe. And more no's than yeses. So this is why my video didn't upload. No, unfortunately. God damn it. I know we have a female vice president. I didn't vote for her because, one, I want to look at women and men the same. When I'm listening to all the male politicians, they have to sound like they're agreeing with my beliefs, and she doesn't sound like she agrees with my beliefs. And I am about equality. I'm not looking at somebody because of their gender, and I don't feel like we should just be voting for someone because they're female. Yes, I would love a female president. I am rooting for that, but they have to speak to me and my beliefs. I'm not going to treat them any different than the male politicians, because that's what true equality is. If you're just voting for someone because they're a female, that's sexist. Because that's like the men just voting for someone over the female because they're men. You understand? I think we need to work on this as women. But if you voted for her and she calls to who you believe, what you believe and what you stand for, that's not sexist. I'm not calling you sexist because you voted for them because of your belief. Just because they don't match my beliefs doesn't mean, I just didn't vote for her because she doesn't match my political voice, if you know what I mean. I'm sad. I hope that this is wrong. I hope we do have a female president in the next decade. I think we need to ask it again. Spirit. Oh. Yes and no. They're on the fence. Maybe they want it to be a surprise, or they're just trying to appease my hurt heart. All right, number 4. Do women project honesty on their social media pages? I just read this whole study about how women feel pressured to have all their shit together, to be like a Stepford wife, to be the best mom and get all the mom stuff done and get the housework done and handle their career and have a solid relationship. So on social media, they're projecting like they have the perfect kids and the perfect relationship and their home is fine. And then you have women who are just brutally honest like me, like, listen, I'm in the fucking weeds. I got laundry backed up for fucking days. My kids swear. I don't have kids, but I'm sure growing up in New York, it's inevitable. But So they were saying that most women, because of the pressure that they feel society puts on them, they feel like they can't be honest on their social media pages like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So let's ask, do women project honesty on their social media pages? Yes, it's likely. Last time I got a hard no. I think people are getting better. Like, look at Chrissy Teigen and her bravery about losing her stillborn, and Christina Perry, and Drew Barrymore has done a lot of honest stuff. Reese Witherspoon, like, people are in upper levels and they're just saying, like, I think Serena Williams just came out and said, like, no, my marriage is not perfect. It's very hard. Like, people are starting to be comfortable with being more honest, which is wonderful. I think we're making an impact as trickling down from the celebrity world. But overall, I just feel like after these last 2 years, people are just like, we don't even know what end is up, and if we can't be real, like, we're facing realness in the last a little over a year, being stuck home, dealing with all the things that we're dealing. Like, I think more women are comfortable with saying, I don't have my shit together. Like, I can't, I'm not the best mom. You know, it's hard being a mom and teaching these kids online and trying to keep up my career, my housework. I feel like we're being more honest, probably more so than ever. Let's ask this again. Do women project honesty? Overall, do women project honesty on their social media pages? Do we autocorrect and filter? We feel the need to be that way? Not true, yes and no. And then, oh yes. I think it depends on the woman. If they're not comfortable with their body, of course they're going to change it or only shoot. Like, I sometimes don't like my weight, and I just shoot from here up, or I just take pictures from here up. I've had body issues where I don't want to show off my body, so a lot of my stuff is just my face. But that's my preference. Women out there might not be comfortable in their skin and their bodies. Like, right now, am I comfortable in my body? No. But like a year and a half ago, I lost a lot of weight and I felt great and I was showing off my body. It depends on where I'm at, and I think that's true for most women. Some women feel the need to just be brutally honest, and some women feel the need that they have to play a part, which is sad. I'm going to change this to yes. Alright, are women better at investigations and finding out information on people? I was reading this article about how more women spy on, like, email and go through people's phones than men do. So, is it because we're better investigators? Would we make better investigators? I want to know. Do women... Oh my god, no. Yep. Nah. Oh no. More no than yeses. Maybe we don't. Maybe we're only really good at it when we're emotionally invested. Like, if it's the person you're dating and you feel like they're cheating, I feel like women are on point with looking up in the DMs and looking through texts. Like, I did that when I was very young and I was very insecure, but now I'm to the age where, like, I don't got fucking time. I don't got time to worry about if you're gonna cheat on me, and if you cheat on me, bye. I'm not gonna do an investigation. Who the fuck's got time for that? Not me. I'm busy. Like, I mind my fucking business. I'm happier not knowing if I trust my intuition, and my intuition don't fucking lie. And you can't fool a medium, because my spirit guides will tell me if you're doing me dirty. I trust that voice, so I don't feel the need to investigate. But there are, like I said, when I was younger and insecure and I wasn't healed as a woman, I did stupid shit. I hacked into people's emails. I looked at their phone when they were sleeping. I'll admit it. I don't do it anymore, but I did. Alright, so number 6. Do women think about sex more than men do? It's a question I was very curious about. Because I feel like I think about sex more than my boyfriend does. I'm not the one that says no. Shirley, oh, snap. Let me ask again. That wasn't a pure yes or no, but do women... Oh, it paused. Absolutely not. True. Hell yes. I think some women are just oversexed and they're just too tired and they don't want to think about it. You have a lot going on. I feel like single ladies think about sex all the time. If you're in a relationship long term, you probably think about it too. It depends on what level you're at. But I think at times that women do think about it more than men. We're just women and we don't voice it. We keep it in here. And we talk about it with our friends. So I'm going to write yes and no. Because it depends, like I said, if you had a new baby, the last thing on your fucking mind, or if you're pregnant, the last thing on your mind is sex. Well, depending. In the beginning of pregnancy, you're super horny. But, or if you're just old and you don't want to do it anymore. So it's not a knock to you. We go through stages. Sometimes I'm like, I don't fucking want to. It's very few and far between. But there are times where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to. Not today. Alright. Do women share everything with their female BFFs? Do we gossip and tell all the tea to our close personal friends? Is this a myth or is this fact? Oh my god, yes. I have to say, I am in agreement. It came out yes on the fence, no, because there are private women that don't spill the tea. In high school, my best friend growing up was Mal, and I mean, granted, he was gay, so what? Not that that's a big deal, but I told him everything, even if he had different parts, I didn't give a shit. If I'm very close to a female in my life, I'm very close to my sisters and my mom, we talk about shit all the time. I don't really have best friends anymore. I'm just close to my family. I haven't seen them much over this past year because of COVID, but every time we come together, if something's going on in our lives, we spill it out. We don't give a shit. We are not shy. The good, bad, and the ugly. We talk about it because we're close. I think it's a comfort level. You have to be comfort. You have to know that no matter what you say, it's not going to go anywhere else. But if we have that comfort level, bet your ass we spill the tea. Number 8. Are more women voting in this day and age than other generations? Are there more women voters in this? Surely. Hell yes and nope. There's still going to be those scragglers that don't vote. But for the most part, I do feel like women are stepping their game up and voting more, especially since we have a female vice president. I feel like I feel like a lot of people voted just because they wanted a female in the position, which is sexist, like I said, but I'm not trying to judge you either. I'm just saying. Alright, number 9. Are women promoted as much or equal to men in companies? Are women promoted just as much as men? It's true. It's possible. I think it depends on where you work, and who's on the board and who's responsible for promotions. If you're in an office and it's all women making decisions, I feel like they're more likely to promote another woman. If you're in an office with all men, they're more likely to promote more women. If you're in an office that's mixed, women and men, it could go either way. So it really depends on where you look, where you work. But I feel like there's better chances for a woman today to get promoted than 10 years ago. Like, we're making progress, but like I said, miles to go before we sleep. Number 10. Are women better with money and finances? Are women better with money and finances? Me personally, fuck no. I'm the YOLO, you only live one. I do save. I do try to have a little bit of a safety net, but if I'm walking by and there's a pair of fucking shoes I want, I'm not going to walk by and be like, well, what are we going to do when we retire? I'm like, no, I could die tomorrow. I'm going to walk a mile on these sexy ass shoes because YOLO. That's my life. But I don't spend every dime I have. I am thrifty, but I'm not trying to think 20 years down the road all the time. Sometimes I just live in the moment, which makes me kind of bad at money. It's likely. Yes. Heck no. False. Oh my God. Yes. Yes and no. Yes. No. Ask again. More yeses than no. So yeah, maybe we are. More women are better with money. Especially, I feel like if you have kids and a house, and I feel like women are more logical and like, we got to put these kids through college, we got to pay a mortgage. Not that men aren't, men can do the same thing, but I feel like if women, I don't have kids, so I can go buy them fucking shoes and skip a meal or two and nothing bad's gonna happen. But bet your ass, if I had a kid, it would be more about their education and their future than those fucking shoes. So it really depends on the situation of a female, but I'm gonna say yeah. Because women are more responsible and strategic about shit. Alright, let's get into your holistic remedies for UTIs and yeast infections. And the reason why I'm talking about this, because I'm in my 30s, and they say any woman over 30 or in the menopause years are highly prone to UTIs and yeast infections more so than young women, because our hormone levels and our pH levels are always changing. And just with a little bit of your pH off, it can cause a whole infection. Here's, especially if you're going through menopause, because your hormones are all over the place. If you're pregnant, you are prone to UTIs and yeast infections as well for the same reason. Your hormones, if you're in your baby making years, which is I call the 30s, same is true. You're always going up and down in your hormones and your pH levels, and your body's got to try to balance it, and then doing that causes an infection. I was born with a kidney defect. My tube from my kidney to, I think it's my kidney to my bladder, the tube where your waist goes through is too short and too thin. So I have a hard time with my body pushing out waste, and sometimes it sits a little too long and it'll give me a UTI. So I'm prone to them. I can, but they do say if you have kidney problems, you shouldn't go in a hot tub, because most of the hot tubs people go in, other people have been in, and if you have any kind of low immunity, don't go in a public hot tub. If it's your hot tub and no one else is in it, different story, but I wouldn't stay in there too long, to be honest. You can get UTIs from swimming when you're in your 30s all the way to menopause, just swimming. Not so much in chlorine pools, but if you're swimming in the ocean, if you're swimming in freshwater lake or river, you're prone to get one. If you don't urinate after sex, you could easily get one. If you don't change out of your sweaty clothes when you're done working out and you wear them till you get home, or you wear them too long, you can get a yeast infection or a UTI from that. Not showering enough. It's so easy to get one from 30 up. Especially with elderly people, UTIs actually makes them go crazy and can make them unable to stand up. It messes with your equilibrium and your mind. They can actually go physically mad from a UTI, and anyone can die from a UTI that isn't treated, or it can cause you to not be able to have children if you go months and months and months without it being treated. The common symptoms for a UTI is lower back pain. You're gonna feel it in your lower back on either side or all over your back. Cramping, like you have your period but not bleeding. Burning or itching when you pee. Frequent urinations or not being able to pee more than a drop at a time. Very painful. So this is some remedies you can try at home to prevent these UTIs from getting worse. But the common rule is, if you're trying these and 3 days go by and it's not any better, it's time to go get an antibiotic, because the infection is further along than a home remedy will be able to treat. Sometimes if you catch a UTI in the first day and you do these home remedies, you can kick it out without an antibiotic, but I wouldn't go past 3 days without going to see a doctor, because you don't want this to go on longer. It can go up into your kidneys and you can have a serious problem. So 3-day rule. Try these at home, and if on the 3rd day you're not feeling any better, time to make a doctor's appointment. So you can use a hot compress, heating pad, those bean things you can put in the microwave, fill up something with hot water, like a water bottle with hot water, not too much to burn your skin, and just put it in your shirt. Just like period cramps, using a hot pad, it's the same. You put it on your back, put it on your front. Honestly, I find that if you ice your back and put heating pad on the front, that really helps. I've had enough UTIs, hiccups. It's going to be a good one for one lifetime. Spirit comes through and gives me hiccups, I'm telling you. All right, so anything cranberry is going to be your best friend with a UTI. If you really want to drink pure cranberry juice, or cranberry cocktail with nothing else in it, you can dilute it with water so it's not so bitter. But I like cran grape because cranberry juice is really potent and sour, and grapes are really good too for clearing you out. So if you can't handle cranberry, try cran grape or diluting it. You can take cranberry gummies or cranberry vitamins, so you don't even have to drink it. But I would do both, to be honest. You double up the cranberry. You can't get enough cranberry. Cranberry is a natural way of pulling that out of your body. Probiotics, you can get them through your doctor. You can get them at like a pharmacy or a health food store. Some of them have to be cold and kept in your refrigerator, so pay attention to that. Increase your vitamin C. Vitamin C will help you as well. Don't hold your urine at all. I know that sometimes when you have a UTI, you go to the bathroom and literally 5 minutes later you have to pee again. Don't hold it. Don't hold it at all. Just go. Like, I get so frustrated because I'm peeing like 50 times a day, but the longer you hold it, the worse you're making your infection. So with all that peeing, you're going to make sure that you're drinking a lot of water so that you have full pee. The more that you flush it out of your system, the better off you're going to be. Pump the water and don't hold your pee. All right, so if you try all those things and in 3 days you're not feeling any better, you can also get, I think it's called AZO or UZO. You can go to the pharmacy and they have UTI pain pills and UTI treatments. You can try those as well over the 3 days on top of this stuff. So if, like I said, if in 3 days you're not better, time to go to the doctors. There's nothing holistic that can help you. You need antibiotics. I am a holistic healer, but I also promote modern medicine. And I don't feel like, and I am against some medicines and I will adamantly refuse it, but nothing that they give you for a UTI is going to be detrimental to your health. You want to get rid of this infection. It's no bueno if you let it get too bad. Trust me, I've let it go up into my kidney and I want it to die. All right, let's talk about yeast infections. This is the least favorite of everybody's, but you know what? Most women are going to get at least 3 yeast infections in their lifetime. Every woman. It doesn't matter how clean you are. It doesn't matter your lifestyle. This is about yeast and your body making too much of it. Like I said, you can get a yeast infection from not going to the bathroom after sex, staying in your sweaty clothes too long, or even staying in your bathing suit and being wet all day down there can give you a yeast infection. Swimming in funky waters like freshwater rivers, oceans, that can give you a yeast infection. Men can actually your young boys can get yeast infections as well. It's just the common symptoms of yeast infections: itching, burning. You're going to get some white creamy discharge or clear discharge, frequent urination, burning when you pee. You might get some backaches and some cramps as well. They have a lot of stuff over the counter that you can use. Vagisil is the most popular. You can either get a single application treatment, a 3-day application treatment, or a week-long application treatment. Honestly, in my opinion, the single treatments don't ever work. You're always going back to get more. So I would stick with either the 3-day or the 5-day, depending on your situation. Also, with yeast infections, people don't tell you're going to get a strong odor. Your pee's going to stink. Overall, in general, it's not a good smell because you have yeast coming out, which yeast is very stinky. Even if you get a cut, you can get a yeast infection in a cut and it's going to smell like cheese. So don't be discouraged. Don't think that you're like a stinky person. It will go away when the infection goes away and you stop getting that discharge. Douching too much can also give you a yeast infection if you're over 30 especially. So be careful with that. Next is boric acid capsules. Very useful for women who get reoccurring infections like me. I don't get as many yeast infections that I get more UTIs because of my tube issue, but I've had a few yeast infections just from, being in my bathing suit, going in hot tubs. Being older, you're more susceptible, and babies are also susceptible because they're in diapers all the time. But anyway, the CDC suggests a dosage of 600 milligrams of boric acid in a capsule inserted vaginally once a day for 14 days. It's not a good time. Honestly, the only way to treat a yeast infection is to stick things up there. And if you're using the creams over in the store like Vagisil, the 3-day, 5-day, remember, whatever you shoot up there is eventually going to come back out. So you definitely want to wear a pad or a panty liner because you don't want to get caught somewhere and have all that goopy stuff come out. If you're active and walking around, it's going to come out faster. If you do it before bed, it's going to come out while you sleep. So prepare for that. By the way, it's not a good time. Like I said, it's easier for men when men get yeast infections because it's on the outside and they can rub the cream on it and know what spots to do it. But because our parts are inside, we can't see exactly where the infection is. So that's why they want you to shoot it up there and just cover the whole area in general. It's very messy. It's very gross. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to feel funny with all that goop. When you shoot that goop up in there, it's not going to feel good if for the first time. You do get used to it, and it's not going to feel good when it's coming out. You're going to be like, ew, goopy. I'm just keeping it real with you, but you have to do it. This is the only way to get rid of that yeast in there that gives you the infection. Now, this has been recommended to me by a few doctors. I've always been too scared to do it because I'm not comfortable with doing it, but I do get a lot of feedback from this. People really do say that it works, but you have to do it correctly. Alright, so basically, you're going to take an unused tampon, and in a bowl, you're going to mix tea tree oil, coconut oil, and oil of oregano, and dilute it with water. Make sure it's more part water than all the oils. Let the tampon soak all that stuff in the bowl up, and then put it in before you go to bed and take it out when you wake up. It's like an old school special little tampon douche to get rid of yeast. They did this a lot back in the day, and it does work. It is helpful. However, before you do this, on your arms or somewhere that isn't going to affect your work, take the tea tree oil and put a dime size mark. Put some on your skin and rub it. Take the coconut oil and do the same thing, and the oil of oregano. And if nothing happens between 12 and 24 hours, you know you're not allergic, that you're safe to do the tampon thing. However, if you have a reaction at all, don't do it. And trust me, you want to test this before you stick it up there and get an allergic reaction. Because most women's allergic reaction, if they don't test it, is burning your vajayjay. So be very careful. Make sure you test all 3 oils on your skin, outer skin, and wash it immediately. If you get any burning, then you know that this isn't an option for you. Again, that's tea tree oil, coconut oil, and oil of oregano. You can take some probiotic supplements as well. Natural food store, pharmacy. Some of them have to be in the fridge. You can get a prescription from your doctor as well. Natural yogurt. You can either eat it. I find Activia to be the best. That has the most culture in it. The bacteria you need. It also helps your digestive system, so it's like a 2-for-1. You can either eat it, you can apply it to your vulva around the vagina, like just take the yogurt and do that. And you can also insert yogurt up there, but I would definitely not, I would get a no flavor kind. Honestly, I've never tried squirting yogurt up there. I just ate it. I always just ate it. I would recommend just eating it. I can't imagine that smelling too good with yogurt up there. But that is a way to treat it. Eating a lot of garlic, if you're prone to getting yeast infections all the time, having garlic in your diet helps. It's a natural preventative to getting them. All right, so like the same rule applies. If you try all these things, and like if you do the week-long applications and it's not gone, time to go to the doctor. You can do the 3-day application twice. But I'd say after 7 days, if there's no improvement of trying to do anything at home, it's definitely time to go and get an antibiotic from your doctor. If you catch it early, you can get rid of it at home. But most of the time, women aren't noticing it until you start getting the symptoms, and therefore it's spread to the point where you need antibiotics, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're not a gross person. They see yeast infections more than any other problem with the vagina. I'm just saying. All right, so anytime, for these cases, don't ever try anything but going to your doctors. One, if you're pregnant, you don't want to fuck around. Just go right to your doctor and let them decide what's best for you. Don't try anything at home. Same if you're elderly, because it's a severe health risk. If you have STDs or are exposed to STDs, some of these creams and stuff can make it worse, so go straight to your doctor. Or if you have reoccurring yeast infections, like once a month or every few months, it's time to see a specialist. It's no more doing it at home. Go see a specialist so you can treat this problem for good. So I hope that was helpful. Let's talk about how to help you make babies. If you're struggling to make them and you have no other serious underlying issues other than, I always say this wrong, polycystic ovary syndrome, I have some recommendations for you. So, are you ready? If you want to make a baby, these are some things you can try to help improve your fertility. Eating foods rich in antioxidants. Cranberries, my friends. Like folate and zinc, they improve your fertility. Eat a bigger breakfast. It helps with raising your hormones, and it helps with the PCOS, sorry. Why do I always mess that up? Eating a healthy big breakfast in the morning is just going to help get your body going. Doctors recommend this as well. Avoid trans fats in your diet because they act like a slow the whole process down in a frustrating way. So avoid any trans fats. Cut down on carbs, especially if you have PCOS. Carbs are your enemy. Eat fewer refined carbs. Eat more fiber. Choose a high-fat dairy. I know a lot of people who are like vegan or vegetarian or very healthy, they don't like dairy, but if you're trying to make a baby, pump that whole milk. Eat some ice cream. You want yogurt is your friend. Those high-fat dairies are going to help those hormones. If you have dietary restrictions, you can do research what would equivalent whole milk in a different variety. Get those hormone levels up. Swap some protein sources, replacing some animal proteins such as meat, fish, and eggs with vegetable protein like beans, nuts, and seeds. So cut back on the meat. Don't cut it out altogether unless you're a vegetarian. Kick up those beans, nuts, and seeds along with some healthy meat. I would stay away from the red meat, to be honest. Take a multivitamin. Woman's one a day is great, but you know what? Honestly, take them prenatals because they're going to get everything ready for you and in line. You can take prenatals before you're pregnant, and your nails are going to be pretty, and your hair is going to be fantastic, and your body is going to be ready for that baby. I tell this to all my friends. If they're struggling to have a baby, take prenatals for like 30 days. Bam, fertile myrtle, my friend. All right, get active, doing yoga, walking, getting that cardio up every day is going to help your body prepare and be able to get pregnant better. By sitting too much or being too much in your depression, getting active releases those endorphins that release happiness. So you need to be calm, stress-free, because stress is your enemy. Stress will stop you from having a baby, especially if you're stressing about getting pregnant. You need to meditate, you need to calm down, and you need to be active. and you need to work on your anxiety levels as well. Cut the caffeine. Cut it altogether if you can. Caffeine is also a blocker. Getting enough sleep will help you. Aim for a healthy weight. If you are a little overweight, that's okay. Even dropping like 3 to 5 pounds can actually help you get pregnant. Check your iron levels. I recommend this to all women. I am B12 and iron deficient. I've been my whole life. I'm borderline. So sometimes I'm great and my body produces enough, and other times I don't. And you can feel the difference. If you are low on iron, you're prone to headaches, drowsiness, moodiness, weakness, bruising easy. So if you get these levels under control, you're not going to have headaches. You're going to have more energy. You're not going to bruise easily. And this is for anyone, any woman, not just the ones that are trying to have a baby. You should always check your iron levels. It plays a huge part in your life. Avoid excess alcohol. I would stick to the same rule. When you're pregnant, you're allowed 1 glass of wine a day in a safe manner. So says the CDC. I wouldn't drink more than that because alcohol can actually block you from getting pregnant as well. You can take natural supplements such as, it's called maca, M-A-C-A. It's a natural supplement that increases productivity and helps fertility. Bee pollen, bee propolis, and royal jelly. All those things can help you get pregnant. I'm going to stay away from the bee pollen because I'm allergic to bees, and that just makes me fucking nervous. So I hope this was helpful. Remember, if you have any questions or if you have any treatments you want me to look up, go to the comments below or check the description box to find my email and email me at that address. Please give this a thumbs up if you want more of these. I'm only going to do 2 more weeks. If my numbers stay low, I'll just drop this and move on to something else. So I am looking forward to your feedback to see if this is something you like and want more of. Thank you for your time. Hit the subscribe button if you're feeling pulled to. No pressure. I love all my ladies out there. Girl power. I mean, we rule the freaking world. I love you all. Be well out there and be happy and have a glass of wine if you can. Cheers. Clink, my invisible glass. Bye, guys.